Hello everyone. How's it going out there? This is Money Up Talks with Alex, episode number 2. I told you guys I would respond to your questions via video format and record it so other people can have access to the information as well. So this week we got a question submitted by Cameron Ball. Question was, how did you get involved in flipping? He's trying to start flipping and has questions regarding the financing and how to get loans. Does properties even qualify for loans? Things like that. So this is important, so I wanted to address this publicly because a lot of people have this question. So let's take a step back. The flipping process starts before you acquire the property. So if you're just getting started, you want to already have contacts established for an insurance agent. Introduce yourself, tell them you're trying to get into the flipping business or into the rental business, and establish a connection and say that when I'm ready to go, I'm going to contact you and you're going to quote me, and so you can already estimate your cost for insurance. Then you already want to introduce yourself in the community to different agents, different brokers, so you can have a deal flow coming in. You can give them your criteria, and they can start sending you deals of that meet your criteria, that meet your budget. So let's say all that aligns. You have your team. You interviewed several contractors. You have all that lined up. Then you can move on to thinking about the financing aspect, because you don't want to acquire a property but then not have any of the back office, back end things set up, such as contractors, insurance, knowing the rules in the particular jurisdiction regarding permits and zoning. So you want to sort of do your homework before you acquire the property, or else then you acquire it and then you're wasting time and money because each day is costing you money in this business. Let's go over a couple important points as well. That a true fixer-upper property will not qualify for traditional bank financing and a conventional mortgage, which means you'll need to find alternative source of funding to fund the deal, because a bank is not going to lend on a property that has messed up plumbing, messed up electrical, the roof is leaning. So those types of properties are out of the question. You will not be able to get a traditional bank loan, so you'll have to resort to alternative funding sources such as private money lending, hard money loans, which typically tend to be between 10 to 15% if you're brand new and you don't have any established relationships in the industry. And then your other source of financing is partnering with friends and family. But for your first deal, I wouldn't recommend the deal that needs a lot of work. I would stick to a true cosmetic fixer-upper, which means you can identify that by looking at it and seeing that it's just outdated. Simply, you can go in and paint the property, put new flooring in, change out some toilets, some vanities, do simple stuff like that, do the landscaping, and that's how I would start my first flip, because that'll give you experience. It won't overcomplicate things, and you have less of a chance of messing up, and because you don't know what you're doing because you have no experience. So if you have a W-2 income, those types of properties will qualify for traditional bank financing. So about 2 years ago, my wife and we used her W-2 income to qualify her for a property that was listed on the MLS. It was listed for $75,000. We made an offer with a non-cash offer, a traditional financed offer, and they accepted our offer, so we got the property for $75,000. We put in about $20,000, so it cost us $90,000 all in, and then we sold the property for $125,000. We used that with almost no money out of our pocket, because when we acquired the property for $75,000, we just put a 20% down payment down, because it was a conventional 30-year loan. So a 20% on $75,000 was like $15,000. So it cost us $15,000 plus some fees and all that. Let's say it cost us $20,000 to acquire the property, and then $20,000 to do the renovation. So our all-in out-of-pocket was about $40,000. So you can start with something simple like that, where you find the property, identify it on the MLS, on Zillow, an off-market property that doesn't need too much work. Your profit will be a little bit smaller, but at least you'll get in the game, you'll have experience, which is very valuable, and then you can take that to your next deal. Also, another point I want to bring up, for people who are trying to find ways to finance and fund their deals, take advantage of credit card promotions. I do this all the time. There's tons of credit cards that offer you 0% interest for 15 months, for 18 months. So you can open up one or two of those kinds of cards and it can sort of pay for your rehab costs, because you can buy materials with it. And then I try to find vendors that will do services and then allow me to pay them via credit card. So for example, if I'm getting a new HVAC system, heating and air, installed in a property that's $5,000, I ask up front with the company, do you guys accept credit cards? They tell me yes, so I know that I don't have to come up with that money out of pocket. So that will allow me to, when you charge something on a credit card, you have 30 days in your billing cycle. Then the billing cycle closes and you have another 30 days to pay them back. So you basically get 60 days of free money. So, and then, since it's a 0% interest credit card for 15 months, you don't have to, you just make a minimum payment and you don't pay any interest. Also, don't forget about Home Depot and Lowe's promotions. They're great also. They offer the same thing. So they offer 0% down on purchases over $300 or $1,000. They have different promotions all the time, and especially around holiday seasons, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They're running all kinds of promotions. So, you can buy roofing material, you can buy appliances, all that stuff you can buy on your Home Depot card, on your Lowe's credit card, and with 0% down. And then once you sell the house, you can go ahead and pay all that off. And a lot of times you can do these deals with very little money out of your pocket if you structure everything right, have the credit cards in advance, open up the Home Depot account or the Lowe's credit cards. So just be creative and think about these things that are available to you. So I hope that answers your questions, that there's different ways to do flips. There are ways where you don't need a lot of money out of your pocket. If you find a hard money lender, a private money lender, then if the property is not in a terrible condition, you can qualify for a traditional mortgage. Also, one more point I want to bring up is don't forget about doing a live-in flip. That is something where you can acquire a property that needs cosmetic renovations. You can live in the property, do the renovations as you're living, room by room, one bathroom at a time. You don't have to do it all at one time, and you don't need too much money up front. And then you go ahead and sell it in about 2 years, because that way it would be your primary residence, and then you can avoid paying taxes on the capital gain. Also, something that I forgot to mention that's pretty important is see if you can find some deals that are seller finance deals. So let's say you find a property that's off market, you approach the seller, and the seller essentially acts as the bank. You tell them you'll pay them an interest percentage monthly, and tell them what you're trying to do. I'm trying to renovate this property, and some people are fine with that. They act as the bank. You pay them interest monthly. They still own the property. So when you renovate it and you resell it, you pay them off, and then the difference of the proceeds you keep for yourself. So I've done several deals where the owner financed the deal for me, so I just gave them a small down payment, $5,000, $10,000, and I didn't have to go to a bank. I didn't have to go find private money. So seller financing is also an option. All right, I hope that helped some people out there. You have some more questions about business, finance, tax, real estate, anything relating business and real estate, shoot me a message, put them in the comments, and I'll try to respond to you guys. Thank you for watching.